Hello? Can you hear me? How's everyone doing? What do we got? What you got there? Let's see, I'm gonna bring up the chat. There we go. Loud and clear. Great. Where's my phone stand? Right here. Great. Didn't have to go far. Cool. Everything's set. Everything's good. This is the start of any stream, guys. Any stream, anywhere on the internet is just... what is that? It's over here. Oh, it's this thing. Okay. Sam, what's up? Tyler, love camping. All right, so, I'll probably have to grab a few things when we start getting the paint going. I don't feel like I have everything ready. I'm having an early morning, not that I wanted it, but fortunately I was awake to watch a stream. Hey. So, Oren, who runs the channel Geek Peak, went on to the Amazon backer wishlist and was able to buy a couple tents. So we got this tent. These are the WizKids tents. On the backer list right now, this comes in one little pack, these two tents. I still have 3 more of these on the backers kit if you guys want to consider getting them. And Oren, if you're seeing this, thank you very much. Brickmaster Johnny Boz. Then we have our good friend Sean, who actually grabbed a few more things that were in the Amazon wish list. Now I have to put more stuff there. I do need more coffee. Thank you, Allie. Then we have... So Sean got these, like, sleeping bags. These bed rolls. They're all primed and ready to paint. So what we have 2 bed rolls, and both of them laid out, and then both of them rolled up. You need some coffee? Then we have another thing that Sean went all out on, which I'm super excited about. I've been eyeballing this for a while. Another thing from WizKids. It's the Adventurer's Campsite. Make sure I can... There we go. You guys can see it, right? So we have in here a wagon. We have a campfire. I don't know if I'd use the campfire. I'll see how I paint it, because I do have my LED campfires. We have 2 treasure chests, a keg, a pile of sacks. That's always good. 2 horses with saddles. I might not use the horses because I'll have them painted, but I don't use horses in my fantasy world. 2 bedrolls. Hey, we got more bedrolls. 2 weapon racks, which is cool. 2 adventurers packs. Oh, sweet. So we have like backpacks laying around. 1 spell book. Oh, that's so cool. A scroll. Nice. A bag of holding. Oh, that's so... A cooking pot. That's great. Oregon Trail vibes kicking in? Heck yeah. So when I pull out this wagon, I want to see if it fits with my axe beaks, my like giant ostrich like birds. Yeah, this is super cool and exciting. So something I've been wanting to get is camping gear, because I can't have an encounter when my players are camping, or if they want to go to a bandit camp or a guard camp. I don't have... Allie said something. And I don't have the set to like lay out, right? A bunch of tents would be nice. This Adventures Camp set is nice. I have a few like a watchtower and stuff like that can add to it. But now it's really getting there where it's like, oh, we can have a camping encounter now. So thank you, Sean. Thank you, Oren. And I have to now fill up the Amazon wish list a little bit more. So let's unbox this. Let's see, the GoPro should work. I don't have a reference monitor, so I don't know if it's working right now. Can I fast forward my... We'll find out. The mic keeps bumping where the camera is. Bloop. There we go. Like Anakin repairing a pod racer. It's working. Do you guys hear the music, by the way? Get this mic. Everything is stacked on top of each other. Hey, how's that top down with the microphone in the way? I'm watching a delayed version of the stream right now. So you can see this little scroll right here. Got 2 backpacks, the cooking pot, a spell book, a bag of holding. I think that'll be really fun to really try to get it to look like an official bag of holding. Sacks, keg, arms and weapons rack, chests, the fire. I think if I was to use this fire, I could fit it underneath the cooking pot. Got the 2 horses, bags, and the wagon. Nothing spins or rotates, it's just locked off.
There you go.
Thank you.
I keep forgetting you're not using that camera.
One of these courses out. There we go. So there's no like I don't know what these are called on a wagon. that connect to your mount. Let me try this. Switch the microphone. Hey, can you hear me now? I grabbed a different microphone. So, I don't know what these are called on a horse wagon that connect to the horse, but whatever they are, they're not outward straight. They're... Is this supposed to have a base? It feels like it's meant to have a base. It's got little steps or something in its hoofs. Oh, there they are. Perfect. Yeah, it's supposed to go this way. I can make this work, I swear. Cool. Okay. So, the horse can't connect to the wagon. So, that's okay with me. Because now I can put my reindeer. I could put my axe beak. My axe beak, what's cool about my axe beaks are they already have a satchel full of camping supplies on them. So aesthetically, they already blend in. It's pretty cool. Let's see. So this looks great. Weapons rack. Again, if Sean's in the chat, if Sean comes by, let's give Sean a big thank you for today's stream. He's provided us content. And to the content lords above, yay! Got the sacks. Little bag of holding. What's great about the sacks and the bag of holding and like the spell book and stuff is you don't need those just for camping. You can just toss those in a dungeon or on any environment and be like, there's a bag of holding on the set. Chance! Hello and bye, buddy. One of these days you'll be able to hang out. Chance, if you're still here in the Discord, toss in your schedule so that way I can try to make sure I line up with you a little bit because you've been missing out on the streams lately. I want to make sure you get to enjoy them too. There we go. And then we got these new bed rolls. So, in a recent post on Patreon, I did a little audio podcast update. Are they dual-sided? Oh, they are. That's cool. Not all of them are, but I mean, there's detail on both sides. On the audio podcast update, I talked about the AI tools that are being used on the channel. I know, I'm a horrible person for using AI. And, dude, that's a pretty good camp. That's an adventurer's camp right here. And one of the tools I'm using is a audio mixing AI tool. And I was having some errors. And I talked to support, and they saw that there was an error on their end, and they refunded me the credits, which is great. Because what I did is I took every dialogue track in the next uncut version of Curse of Amity Island, which will be for patrons. And I had the AI process all those tracks as a multi-track project. Let me know if none of this makes sense. And what it does is it scans it all to mix and balance it correctly, level the dialogue evenly, and clean out all the bleeding. And what bleeding is, for those who don't know, is if I'm talking here on the microphone and somebody's sitting across the table and their mic picks me up, that's considered bleeding. I'm bleeding onto their mic. And it does a great job at cleaning that out. And I would say it does what I could do, but better when it comes to audio mixing. At least for dialogue balancing out the dialogue tracks. It does my job, but better. And it does it in a fraction of the time. It just costs money. And it's a great extra step to put into the show, because the dialogue sounds so much better, so much cleaner. And it sounds like a professional mixed studio grade podcast. We were having some errors on Friday. I let over the weekend support team to work on it. Monday morning, I emailed them again to just check in. Last night, they got back to me with the project, and they said it was an error on their end, so they refunded the credits, and it sounds great. It worked. A full, uncut, 4.5-hour episode, professionally mixed dialogue track, and balanced between all the dialogue mics. And I downloaded it last night, put it in the edit, listened to little spots to make sure that the music that we recorded while playing and the dialogue track is all balanced out, and then hit export, and it's just exporting in the background. It's got like another hour left. What's another cool thing is, because like I said, we're playing music while we play the game, right? So that bleeding, the microphones are picking up our Bluetooth speaker that is playing some of the music and the ambient sounds while we're playing. The AI cleans that out perfectly, better than a denoiser, a compressor. It's so good, and it doesn't sound busted. You know what busted audio sounds like. And it also, if I'm talking this far away from the microphone or talking this close, it balances out the difference in a volume loudness aspect. Tyler, what's the name of the application? Aphonic? I think that's what it's called. Aphonic. Let me bring it up in my email, and then I'll type it in the chat. It's really impressive for podcast, tabletop gaming. #1 recommendation. Talking to their support team, I asked them, is it the length of my tracks that are the problem? 4.5-hour tracks is a long time. And they said, no, their systems are set to go up to 6.5-hour long tracks. And I didn't do it for the uncut, but I'm going to do it for the edited version, which I'm going to do right after this stream, is have it process it and create closed caption files so I can upload the closed caption files straight to YouTube. I don't know how accurate it's going to be, but a phonic. There it is. There we go. See if that's the name. Let me bring up the website. Yeah, because I was trying out a handful of them. And all I wanted was, as I described in the audio update on Patreon, was the issue being I spent 30 minutes mixing dialogue within a 6-minute window of the episode. So for every 30 minutes spent, I get a good 6 minutes back. Whereas spending 15 minutes uploading and making sure that all the checkboxes are set for the processing and then just let it do it in the background, I get a great 4.5 hours out. But it bakes all the tracks down into one mono track, which is okay if it's the last step in the dialogue mixing process. So yeah, really cool. I'm super excited to keep using it because it means that we can actually have the AC on, which is the AC would be in the shot, or we can have a fan on, and it would clean it out really well. All right, so we have a bunch of stuff here. And we want to get painting. All right, so we have a camp set. Where are we going to start with this painting? Because I think everything is primed. The bedrolls are primed and ready to paint. Thanks to WizKids. I love WizKids. WizKids unpainted. I'm looking at the camp set box right now. Is it... Is it primed and ready to paint? I would imagine they are, because that's kind of like the business model of them all. Here we go. Primed, paint ready, out of the box. Cool. So what's the color we should start with? I think we should start with an acrylic off-white. Brighten everything up, and then we'll darken things as we go. I think that's a great starting point. And we're going to start with one of my favorite colors, honestly. It's great for light priming, and it's great for a light final dust pass with dry brush. And that is the acrylic... What is it called? Acrylic Antique White. I call it sand. Yeah, it's this paint. Because even with these like primed and ready to paint minis, occasionally what ends up happening is when I start painting it, the gray can kind of get patchy and you can see the gray through the paint. Yeah, so I don't have my big fat brush with me here, so I'm gonna go grab that. I'll be right back. Don't forget to hit the like button, and thank you very much. Couldn't find my paper towels. Look at that. From my point of view, I see the viewership just drop drastically. Because I left the screen or an ad probably popped up. Who knows? All right. So, we're gonna move this a little bit. There we go. I should be able to see it. Oh, this brush is stiffer than I thought it was. Cool. So yeah, it's just it is already primed and ready to paint, but like I said, I don't want the gray to come through some of the paint job, which then I have to paint over and over and over. So having a light sand off-white happen here is going to be a great thing. And I don't have to go too hard. I can actually spread it out a bit. If the base was black, I'd have to go a lot harder. Oop, bumped the camera. Been listening to any cool music lately? So, I have a weird relationship with music. I don't often listen to it. And that comes from me being an editor. If I'm working on VFX or something like that, I can listen to music all day long. But because I sound design and I edit, I'm already using my ears. Let's see, what music have I been listening to? Yeah, so for the Dante's Peak adventure that's coming, all the players made playlists. So I listened to whatever music that was on their playlist because I wanted to get to know their character. That was a fun mashup of music that I haven't heard in a long time. Some serious, some joking, some dark and heavy. Because of Allie, I listened to a lot of Taylor Swift. We have a go-to lo-fi channel that we play in the background on our TV. And I have a kind of a go-to playlist. I have two go-to playlists on my Spotify. One is a workout playlist. It's just to get me jazzed up. And it just starts with like this mashup remix track of Casey Neistat quotes, Alan Watts quotes, and it's just like action-packed. My least favorite part about editing is I can't listen to music. It is the bane of editing, especially when I was working. You can't listen to anything. Like when I was working at Corridor, everyone was listening to music whenever, or podcasts whenever they were working, because everyone's working on VFX. And then they start talking about this podcast that they were listening to, and I'm like, I haven't been able to do that. Because I've been listening to your voice all day. And honestly, I don't want to keep listening to your voice. I'm going to go over here and watch some weird YouTube video. Want to hang out, but I've been hearing you talk all day. And now I have that problem with me whenever I edit my own stuff. Then my other playlist is kind of this, I think it's a Guardians in the Galaxy playlist, where it has like all the soundtracks from all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And it's just a fun mashup of great songs that I enjoy that they happen to have on Guardians of the Galaxy. The playlist is huge. Love editing, but I get so annoyed that I can't listen to music. The closest thing I've been able to do is listen to music while editing is having like lo-fi music on in the background. Very low. Low enough that when I pause to make cuts, my ears hear it and it's giving me some dopamine and like something.
Is Johnny on the chat right now?
Johnny's in the chat.
Be a funny thing.
It's why I want to get some Adderall, because having Adderall as an editor, oh guys, that's a superpower. Being able to focus and just do 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 do. If I'm bumping the mic with the brush, I'm sorry. If I do a Pirates of the Caribbean themed adventure on this channel, you know what I would want? I want to build a giant wheel that spins like it was a windmill that broke, so we could have that spinning wheel combat sequence in D&D. I just thought about that. You would want a mashup of all of the Pirates of the Caribbeans all in one. You got cursed treasure, magical chest, cursed crew. You can probably mash both of the cursed crews together. Essentially like the Devil of the Sea. You got a fun port town to go visit. You have the military involved, so there's like a couple different types of baddies going on in the sea. And let's see, what else is like key to it, the adventure? Giant Kraken monster. So you're avoiding cursed crew, military crew, and a cursed monster. What else is key? Magical map or compass. Cannibals. I think you can get, if you can get the cannibal plot, so that way you hang your players in trapped cages, or that's where you start. That's actually where you start the adventure. That would be great. Let's do the tent, actually. I think that's pretty good. If you covered those grounds, you'd have a pretty good Pirates of the Caribbean style adventure. Obviously, you'd want some nautical battles. Or at least one. A theme of personal freedom is a big thing. So it's like, if personal freedom is important, then I would argue that because pirates were just anti-monarch. That's all they were. They were libertarians. Modern pirates, maybe a little different. I would say every magical item that could solve a problem creates another curse. Because a big thing about the ending of Pirates of the Caribbean is that the journey has to continue. You have to, as a pirate, keep needing to go to sea. So if every solution that you go to land to go get, like a magical item, a chest, cursed treasure, it always leads to another curse. And then, therefore, you have to go on another adventure to solve the problem. And if you would just not be a pirate, you would not have these problems. Well, for the loot, I would argue you don't. If you're just going to go to shore and take loot from like a treasure chest or something, that's where the curses keep happening, like the problems keep happening because it's so low-hanging fruit. But if you're thieving and taking as you go from other people, like clever piracy, or you try to take another ship and steal from their ship, I would say that's less like curse. You get more wanting. Your wanted stars go up. Dude, actually, that's a pretty interesting homebrew mechanic idea. You'd want wanting stars, like GTA. I think that should be a thing for rogues nonetheless. Hey, you know, your wanted stars are like 5. It's probably not a good idea for you to go in there. how would that work? Is it like for every star, it's a -1 to charisma and stealth checks when in urban environments? Is there another ability score that matters when trying to run from cops? Let's see. I want to move some stuff around, see if I can get a better shot. In case you guys are liking what I'm painting, see if I can put that there so you guys can see it. It's actually a good spot to hold my arm up. Only social interactions? It wouldn't make sense to be less strong, just somebody wants to arrest you. That's why I'm saying stealth also in urban environments, or when like guards and NPCs like that are around. Otherwise, I agree. It should just mostly be social. If you're on the run, you could say adrenaline pumps into making your agility or awareness better. Yeah, so it's a -1. So let's think about this. If you get a GTA star in D&D, if you get a for every star, you get a -1 on all charisma checks and saving throws. When interacting with in urban environments. So we'll limit it to that. But you also, for every star, get a +1 to perception. Ooh, that's a good idea. So it's like at 3 stars. What's the max stars in GTA? Is it 5 or 6? So at like 3, I'm assuming it's like 6. 5 stars? Okay, so we got 5 stars. At 5 stars, let's cut it in half. So at 3 stars, you get disadvantage on stealth checks. So really now we can disconnect it from urban environments. If you have a wanted star, you get a -1 on all charisma checks and saving throws, but you get a +1 to all perception-based rolls. At 3 stars, you get disadvantage on stealth. At 5 stars, no, at 4 stars, let's just do 4 stars. At 4 stars, all guards and military are aware of your presence within a mile or 5 mile area. So how does that translate to mechanics? At 4 stars, guards and military have advantage at investigation and insight and perception. Insight's charisma? Okay, so we can just make guards and military have advantage on charisma against you. One, 2 stars, it's just minuses. 3 stars, it's minuses plus disadvantage at stealth. 4 stars, guards and military have advantage on charisma. Insight's wisdom. Dang it. Okay, they have advantage on insight and investigation on you. Let's just do that. You already have a negative on your charisma. So they get a boost in their insight. Evan, what's up? They have a boost on their investigation and insight. I think that works. Ooh, survival. Investigation, survival, perception, and insight. And then I would say at 5 stars, bandits and bounty hunters have that bonus as well. Evan, we're talking GTA wanted stars for Dungeons and Dragons right now, and how to make that into a homebrew. Because 5 stars, everyone's after you. So it's got to be all guards, military, bounty hunters, bandits. They want the cash. Bandits who are wanted will absolutely risk getting caught, getting money by turning you in. And now disguise self matters? They want you dead, but I would say you're worth more alive than you are dead. Because then you can be used as entertainment for the people. Like, you can get hung, put in the gallows, all that stuff. These are really small pieces. I can only paint so much of them at once. So, 1 star. Wanted characters have a -1 to charisma checks while within legalized wanted territory. Doesn't apply to black markets. Ooh, you know what? With and then also with the stars in the conversation of doesn't apply to black markets. In black markets and in illegal territories, so like you could have 2 stars and walk into a bandit camp, you might actually get plus charisma. It's getting a little dense. It's definitely a big thick homebrew, but that's so funny and fun. But once you get to like 5 stars, you're gonna have to start fighting people off. The ambitious folk will definitely want to jab at you. But yeah. That's fun. That is a fun homebrew to really unlock the criminal experience. Like, what if you have to make dealings with a crime boss? Yeah, you go get the thing that he wants and you make a good impression. Sure. That's pretty simple and you could do that. But it would be pretty funny where you're like, guys, we need to get wanted. We need some wanted stars. What are the crimes that we can do to impress the crime boss? What do we do to remove a star? Well, in GTA, you basically hide, right? So, I think a couple ways you can make the stars go away are... One, you could just go pay off the fine. As long as it's under 3 stars, you could probably just spend the night in jail and pay the fine. Which, what that does for a DM is you split the party. I would say that's one of the easy ways. So like in game design theory, it's like, what are the agency-based solutions that the player can interact with? Just paying it off, spending the night in jail, which splits the party, which allows an interesting opportunity to arise. I think that's a pretty good one. Hiding like, what if I just run out of town and hide? Or if I stay low long enough? I think there's got to be something there. I think it would be 1 day per star. I think that's a pretty easy math for a player. It's like, hey, for every star I have, if I spend a day hidden, fully hidden, not going out, Or if I do go out, maybe I have to put on disguises, really risk some stuff. Or just go in the woods or in dungeons for those amount of days. Which can help encourage exploration and antics. What's another way? You want at least 3 ways to do this. Let's see. Ooh, these bed mats don't have anything on the bottom. That's interesting. So we have go pay the fine. And I'd say it's 10 gold per star. How's that? Up to 50 gold? No, I'm going to say 100 gold per star if you're going to pay the fine. That makes a player, even at a higher level, like, not want to get stars. Which means they're going to avoid it, sure. Unless the adventure calls for it. But now you have a consequence, a mechanical consequence that you can call on. Let's see, third way to get rid of stars. Let's go to the first 2 for a second. Pay the fine, spend the night in jail. And the fine is 100 gold per star. But that's only up to 3 stars. At 4 and 5 stars, we'll come up with a different consequence. Then you could just hide or avoid interaction with avoid being spotted by the authorities for the number of days equal to the number of stars you have. At high stars, that can get really hard. At 5 stars, it's 10 days. I think 5 stars is fine. Or maybe it's 2 times the number of days equal to 2 times the stars. So for 1 star, you want to avoid for 2 days. That's enough time to go out on an adventure. A third way to get rid of stars. And these are all non-magical means. They're just tactical, really. Jason, I have 6 stars. Well, you don't have to have direct mechanical ways, but if a player is instantly going to go, but how do I get rid of stars? You want to have answers to those questions. And the answers are, well, you can pay the fine and spend the night in jail, or you can avoid authority for X number of days, right? You can sum them up in very vague ways. What's a good third one? I guess a third way is like you can get pardoned by helping out an authority official. Good deeds might just lower the wanted star by 1. What's some more? Amount of stars in the sky that are actually ghost stars really freaks me out when I think about it. There are quite a few ghost stars out there. Cool. I put a light sand off-white on everything. I'm going to try to get in some of the cracks of the wagon, since it's a very complicated piece. Due to the narrative of the adventure, it's most likely you will be out of the authorities' sight for multiple days while in a cave fighting goblins. Yeah. But let's say you're in the cave fighting goblins. Well, what happened? Now you have wanted stars related to goblins because you're just slaughtering goblins in a cave. And a goblin gets away and you get a D4 number of stars. And that's in relationship to the goblin clans, because they're a faction who hate people who kill them. Yeah, now you're starting to track, like, you got 3 stars with the goblins, 2 stars with the humans, 1 star with the elves. But that's actually really cool, because now you're tracking faction relations. And it's kind of like a very fun, simplified version of just social politics. It's like, we gotta go talk to the goblins. Dude, we're wanted by the goblins. We should not go talk to them. I mean, you can also have quests tied to gaining and lowering wanted stars. So it's like, you talk to the guards who are about to arrest you for being wanted, and you're like, you plead with them, like, what can I do to, like, make this all go away? And they'll be like, you know, there's a goblin camp right out of town. If you can handle them and make sure that they don't know that we sent you, and make it, get them out of there, because they're causing problems for the trade road. Okay, so now you're risking to lower the star for this town, so you can keep coming back to the town. You have to risk increasing stars with local goblin factions. Which means you have to have a scorch earth policy. But I think that's cool. Oh, they would abuse it so much. Absolutely. But, like, okay, let's see how far we can abuse the rules, you know? Players already abuse things. Cool, we got this base off-white on everything. It's a great start. It's 9:41. I started around 8:30, so we a little over an hour. Good to know. So, now let's start with the tent, because I think the tent's going to be the easiest thing, because we're already pretty close to what the color would be, right? Let's see if I can find a wash. Ain't no way I'm gonna give my guards the must have been the wind treatment. A reasonable amount of time to lose a star is somewhere in the month ballpark. Well, yeah, that depends on how you track your time and the time that passes in your adventures, right? Most adventures I run are in a short window of time. Whether it's a week, a couple weeks, a weekend, whatever, right? If we're doing a long period of time, then yeah. If we're doing like a long campaign and you're going across this land and we're going to pass time by as you guys travel, then yeah, it makes sense to like expand it. It's like, hey, for this adventure, to reduce your wanted stars by avoiding contact with the authorities, rather it being 2 times the star level, it would actually be 4 times the star. So, for 1 star, you have to avoid authorities for a week. Or you could do a week per star, however long your weeks are. So we got a few colors here. I got some greens. We have Army Green and Wizard Orb. They're pretty good. We have some washes, Military Shade and Flesh Wash. We have Wet Mud Effect and Arid Earth. And we have another folk art piece is Butter Pecan. Pecan? Pecan. Bacard? Come on. There we go. And the Butter Pecan, Butter Picard, the Butter Picard dries pretty quick. So wet it up a little bit. I'm gonna just put it as a base. Yeah, my acrylic paints dry very quickly, which is great. It's a nice, decently dark tent color. And the Arid Earth as a highlight at the end will make it look really good. Grab the stick. But this Wanted Star homebrew all started with, hey, if you want to run a criminal adventure like Pirates of the Caribbean, that's a great way to make the experience of being the criminal a mechanical effect, similar to exhaustion. Go. I think we give this treatment to. This is just wooden leaves. So I think I can give the same treatment to this. There's some wood popping through. There we go. It's another one. I think I could almost put this color on a lot of things, surprisingly. I want to start light and work my way to dark, and then add light layers of aging on top. That's what makes sense in my brain. It's harder to put light on top of dark. So good. I'm so happy I have this. Nope, bumped. I bumped the mic. Sean, thank you for the content today. Sean, thank you so much for all the camping. Oh, Sean, I don't know if you heard earlier on the stream. I don't know if you just got on or if you've been lurking. But from the audio podcast update that I dropped on Patreon, when I was talking about the AI tools being used on the channel, which, by the way, if anyone's interested in all the AI tools I'm using and experimenting with, definitely check out that podcast update on Patreon. One of the things was the mixing AIs. And I had a bunch of errors keep coming up, and I had to talk to customer service. And customer service refunded me all my credits, and they fixed the problem. The problem was internally, it wasn't on the files. And we have a perfectly mixed, balanced, and clean dialogue track for the uncut on the next session. So that's exporting now in the background. It sounds really good. I haven't listened to all 4.5 hours. I've just skimmed through it. So if you're going to listen to the next uncut on Patreon, and you catch any like weird digital artifacting happening to the voices, let me know with like a timestamp so I can go listen to that and understand some of the tools limitations, and that way I know what to do on my end to make it better. Ooh, some of the things that couldn't be sent as a gift. I wonder, from the Amazon list, I wonder if there's a way for me to see that before putting it on the list. And for those who are unaware, what we're talking about is that there is an Amazon wish list for this channel that you can buy minis or like accessories for the show. Right now the list is a little low. It's got some extra minis on there, but it also has a couple tools and like a backdrop that would help the channel out a lot to like make it look a little fancier. So I gotta add some stuff to the list. But yeah, I'm curious if, because I remember the chair that I'm sitting on was a gift, and that was a whole thing because Amazon wouldn't ship as a gift. Cool, nice base. Base light brown. Gotta get these axles. These like spring-loaded axles. Here we go. Nice. You know what I could put on the wish list? Some paint. I'm running low on a few colors. I'll double check and see if I can find a way to confirm before things go on the wish list if they can be gifted. It might just come down to me having like a dummy account and testing it on the dummy account first. There we go. Dude, I'm so excited. I'll be able to do, like, camping encounters now. Especially for the fact that I play on camera a lot, it's always frustrating when it's like, oh, there's going to be a tavern fight, and I don't have a good tavern set. I'm like, for on-camera games, that sucks. Home games, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, it's nice to build the collection of these little places that combat can happen. So thank you, Sean. Thank you for helping me build my collection. Pecan pie. So it's a pecan butter pecan. That's the color of the paint I'm using. Dude, this backpack is so high res. I gotta repaint those. Don't worry about that. Okay, we got enough base brown for right now. What we got? 8:30 to 9:30 is an hour. This is an hour and a half. So let's say the stream probably is gonna go for another 30-ish minutes. Let's look at this little leaf and twig tent. We want to put some green on those leaves. It'll probably be fun to paint some of the leaves like orange and yellow and red to get some like autumn looks in them. There we go. It's literally all it needed from the green is that. Have to head out. Great hanging out with y'all. Yeah, it is a Tuesday. Don't worry about it. Ugh. Have a good day, Sam. Like the hyper detail painting, I don't want to do today. I really want to save that. But this piece can have a wash right now and get all those details to pop. Now we have a mix of darks and lights in the leaves. And that's a great start for this type of a textured piece. And so next time when I come back to this when it's dry, we really can paint the leaves very clearly. And it'll have that base undercoat of green camping hiding vibe. As the tent dries, because I put a wet coat on there just to blend my brush strokes. Let's do a flesh wash on the wagon. It's a light brown, and it can help get into a lot of the wooden crevices before we really start going darker on the wood. I can just use a wash to help stain it. Hopefully. If it doesn't work, I can just paint it. Let's just start in this one window. How do we feel about that? I grab some oak brown, paint this. Ooh. Ooh. My grip. I do just some light brown on the wood, or dark brown I should say. Lightly do some dark brown. So, we have two looks going on right here. We have a nice colored light warm brown, and then we have a dark oak on instead. Now I can always cover them up with doing another pass of the pecan, the butter pecan. But yeah, what do you guys think? Should we go with the lighter or the darker? It's up to you guys. Let that dry for the next stream. Pack that up. Cool. These are cool. This is a great set. I'm so happy I have these now. I'm cold. Ugh. So yeah, I think this will be the first stream for painting the camping set. And let's see, overall, I think putting the butter pecan on pretty much everything to get that light tart brown look to everything as a base starting point is really important. For a lot of these things like the bags, the tent, that's already the main color anyway. So it's going to be super easy. I think for the leaves on the leaf tent, I'm going to do some autumn colors. The wagon is going to be the most complicated, and I'll leave it up to you guys what the color of the wood for the wagon should primarily be. So we have that dark brown, and then we have a light brown on that first panel. From there, we have the bags, the sleeping bags, bedrolls, chests. All of it's going to get that light brown pass as a starting point. It's great. I'm hyped. I'm just cold. If I don't look hyped, I'm just cold. Then, as for updates, we have for patrons, the uncut next session is exporting right now. And now that I know that the Aphonic mixer works, I will do an export for the dialogue tracks for the edited version of the next episode and get that sent over to Aphonic to process that. And I will do the same thing to the following episode as soon as possible and get that all going. Heck yeah, guys. In the audio update that's available on Patreon, I do go over the first session of Dante's Peak. It was a great session. I'm excited for the next one. And then this weekend, I'm recording another episode of the Lore podcast. Heck yeah. And I gotta get another episode of Meet the Players. So, that's what's on the plate. Getting things done. Trying to warm up. On top of just talking about the session 1, I also talk about my mindset and thinking of session 2. So, if you want to kind of like get inside what I'm thinking as a DM when going through the adventure, something I did not do during Curse of Amity Island. Curse of Amity Island. Yeah, you get a little bit of insight of what I'm thinking, broad strokes, with no spoilers. Just like how my mindset per session is going to be thinking about stuff and how I'm adapting to my players. The session 0 for Dante's Peak will come out roughly right before the adventure comes out. So, look forward to that. Twin, oh, I'm sorry. I'm wrapping up, buddy. How you been? I'll go a little bit longer just to to read your voice. Yeah, it was a really good first session. I'm really psyched. I'm really hyped up. Let's see. The mountain's pretty much done. I can't think of anything else to work on the mountain, so that's why I decided to jump over to the next thing, which, perfect timing, Sean. Thank you so much for these pieces. Yeah. It's pretty great. It's really great. I'm in a good mood, guys. You know, another reason why I'm in a good mood? Last night, I had a bottle of beer, sitting on the couch and relaxing, and I haven't done that in maybe a year. So it was nice to just drink a nice drink and just relax. My tummy's a rumbling. Yeah, so Twin, I tried to start around 8:30 last week. I started around 10:30 mark, which is around now. But to help all the time zones, it's better for me to start around 8 to 8:30. So what is about 2 hours ago? Try to start around then. That's my goal. Am I able to accomplish that all the time? No. But that's my goal. That's what I tried to do. I'm sorry, buddy. Let's see. What else? What else is a good thing to keep you guys updated? Looking around, looking for triggers. No, that's about it. Everything's smooth sailing right now. There's some bumpy waters, but it's pretty much smooth sailing. And I really do enjoy doing the audio podcast updates. I used to do them as like me walking and giving updates once a week. That was a little too frequent for updates. I think 1 to 2 a month on Patreon, very doable. I'm often at work at that time, but I'll try to get it to where I can. No worries. It's a balancing act. If you're able to at least swing by and hang out for a few minutes, that's always the best. One project I want to do for the live stream. So, two projects. So I'm still prepping these projects and trying to like plan them out. Is the first one is going back and working on tiles. Let me show you something. So, if you've been on the stream for a while, you know that these are... Oh, where's the shot? There we go. These are something that I've worked on because I was building the cabin in the house. I think these are a very nice looking style. I could do something about the edges. But I'm making some progress in figuring out the photo scanning process to get tiles back on the menu. Then there's this bad boy. There's not even room on the camera for this. Here, let's just... So this is a big platform that I'm working on. All the stones are super tiny, just like the stairs and the bridges that I made. And I like the look of this. And I think I can take this style and apply it to smaller tiles like this that can function more as scatter terrain for myself, which makes it far more useful for me to have at any given time. What that also leads to is making tiles that can be photo scanned for you guys, which would be available once I get there, would be available on the Discord, because the Discord has a shop. So yeah, that is working in pre-production. That's one project. The other project is I want to find a way to make a cool looking GM screen. A really simple thing I found is you could just take your current GM screen and you can put sticky wallpaper on it or vinyl surface vinyl like you would for a fake marble counter and put that on top, and it's a really cool look. I'm down to do something like that, but I really want to build something like with pillars, maybe a widescreen monitor on there, like an extra widescreen. I found on eBay a 5-inch tall by 20-inch LCD monitor, and that would be cool to have like this animated background behind the mini, so I could turn on like it's raining, it's fire, or it's a clear day, or it's nighttime, and then even the players, they get a little cool screen to give them a visual. So those are two projects I really want to get to, but I'm just in the development and pre-production phase for those. Twin, you like the interview of the players? Thank you so much. Yeah, we got to do a couple more, and then what I want to do for the one-shots that are coming, we had Mina, who is Jordy's fiance. She was a player. Knocked out of the park. She's so fun to play with, guys. She has such a good imagination, and she's just there to have a great time playing a great character. It's so fun to play with Mina. Then for one of the one-shots, we also have Dale Kingsmill. So she's in Australia, but I'm going to hit her up to see if we can do a meet the player kind of interview with her. It would be over Zoom, but she has good audio equipment, I have good audio equipment, and we can make it sound good. Those distinct blocks could also hide a real-life pressure plate. Yeah. And if you... Here we go. Let me grab this. If you have a creature and put them on, they cover about 4 squares. So what's great is you can kind of have a grid when you have them. It's like every 4 squares is a grid or a spot. And you can kind of pull off that hidden trap where, because if it's photo scanned, you can print the photo scan onto cardboard or paper or whatever you're going to use for your dungeon. This back. And you can also just print it as a template behind the GM screen, and you can pick which one is the traps. And you're kind of playing like what's that old PC game? I think it's still installed in Windows. It's like Mine Trap. But you can essentially do that, or Battleship. And you can have that laid out on which squares they land, and they're walking across the platform, which is really cool. I'd love to make an Unreal Engine environment for you. I would love that. I just don't know how I would use it. Because the way that comes into my mind is Son of a Dungeon style, right? Where it's like we recreate the minis digitally and the environment, and we cut to that in B-roll. But that's such a massive production that, like, I can't just ask for that. Like, no. Other ways I would use it, the B-roll is kind of the go-to thing. Like, you want a B-roll shot of the town, like a wide shot or something like that. That's where it's at. Oh no, if you know what, Tyler, if we can get through to making the monitor based backdrop slash GM screen, using Unreal to make scenes in that monitor, that would be cool. Hey, we're thinking the same thing. And you know what we could do? The environments that we make for the monitor, we could then repurpose that and put those on the channel as like lo-fi beats in the background. And I could just collect some of the music that I use that's royalty free and just have some fantasy relaxing background music videos. Just actually instead of on this channel, just put it on a Fables music channel. The music I mix for these streams, is there a way to listen to them when I'm not streaming? Not yet. But if Tyler and I can work together on something, then yes. I can pop off a sibling channel for Fables D20 for it could be like Fables and Music, Bards of Fables. Bards of Fables. And so that way that channel's uploads doesn't interfere. The analytics don't mix and get intertwined with the story, but I can share playlists. So whoever visits whatever channel, they can see the playlist to, hey, these adventures or these streams. Heck yeah, Tyler. Tyler, are you on the Discord? That's the easiest way to do to communicate off stream. Scalds? Scalds? I don't know that word, twin. I'm just a simple public educated American. Scalds. What do we got? A scald is often named poets who composed skaldic poetry, one of two kinds of Old Norse poetry, the other being Eddic poetry. Skaldic poems were traditionally composed to honor kings who were sometimes... Oh, this is crazy. That's cool. What's the Eddic poetry? Okay, skalds. Chains, composing poetry, capturing kings. Dude, now you got my brain working. And then if I make sure that like the music is royalty free or stuff like that, then I can collect ad revenue on that. That'd be cool. Someday. Especially if it's a new channel, there's no ad revenue. Then there is... I'm thinking. I'm sorry, I went silent. Yeah, what I could do is I can upload them to that channel, and that channel could just grow as a music channel. That'd be fun. Especially if I already have a bunch of music built up. I just gotta double check where my sources for the music are, because some of them are royalty free, but they're like, there's like a couple tracks scattered here or there that are from like Critical Role that royalty free, because that's how they want other people who make D&D content to use it. But I don't want to just re-upload Critical Role music. That feels weird. I don't know. I'll double check my mixes. But yeah, that'd be fun. I think the monitor itself is like a couple $100 on eBay. Something like that. All right, guys. I think it is time to go and make some breakfast. It's a late breakfast, but it's still breakfast. Might be my first breakfast, but it's still a breakfast. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I would make a Spotify playlist based off that channel, 100%. So that way it'd be scattered across both. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get that done, have breakfast, do some editing, get on some phone calls, and get work done. Hoorah! All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you on the next stream. If possible, I'll stream Sunday. If not, it'll be on Tuesday around 8:30 in the morning, which is about 2 hours ago from now. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Chris Scovier. What a nerd! You take that back, Chris. You're the one who hosts the nerd podcast on this channel. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, and of course, good night.
Good night. Good night. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Good morning. Good morning.
Good night.
Here's the note. See ya. See ya. See ya. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Good morning. See ya. Good morning.
Good night.
Here's the note. See ya. See ya. See ya. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Good morning.
Good night.
Good morning.
Good night.
Here's the note. See ya. See ya. See ya. Good afternoon.